Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. Zoe here if you're new. Today I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a little girls talk. I feel like I've been called to talk about certain topics on my platforms recently, and I actually have a whole list of different things that I want to talk about. You know, your 20s, relationships, self-love, all of those things. So I want to make a little series on my channel. And your girl be going through life, and I feel like if I can help somebody with my perspectives or just with my stories, like that is something that I've always wanted to do. Today we are going to be talking about your quarter life crisis. If you are in your 20s, you're probably going through that right now. Before I get into it, definitely subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time your girl uploads a video. And yes, let's get into it. So I want to first define what a quarter life crisis is. I think everybody is pretty familiar of what a midlife crisis is, but a lot of people don't talk about your quarter life crisis, which is when you're literally in your middle to late 20s and you just kind of begin to question every single aspect of your life as you begin to identify as an adult in this world. It is filled with so much anxiety and stress and being overwhelmed, and you're questioning literally everything in your life. It's less action-based like a midlife crisis is, and for me it's more of like self-reflection and self-evaluation and figuring out, am I on the right path to exactly where I want to be in this life? And if not, how can I get there? But I want to remind people before I even get into the whole spiel of it, the fact that you're questioning your values and you're questioning your identity right now, don't feel like it means that you're failing. It absolutely doesn't mean that you're failing. And it's good to take this time. It's overwhelming and it's scary because you just feel like nothing's working out and you don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, you do have to just look at the glass half full rather than half empty, and understand the fact that you are questioning yourself right now means that you're genuinely on the right path to developing into your higher self. So just don't stress too much, okay? But I do want to identify, like, to me, the main pillars of your quarter life crisis. I feel like a lot of the time when people think of quarter life crisis, that it's all about career. And personally, I don't think that's the case. I think there are so many different aspects of your life that you begin to question, and whether that is your career, your love life, your friendships, what you believe in and what you want out of this world, you know, your passions, and just things that you identify and find important in your life. I'm going to start with career though, because I feel like that's what I'm personally going through the most right now. If you guys don't know, a couple months ago in January, I actually got laid off from my 9-to-5, which was a very traumatic experience. A lot of anxiety came from it, a lot of depression came from it, just because I felt like in my lifetime, I have a very practical father, love him to death. But his concept of success and what I need to do in this life to succeed is, you know, I need to go to school, go to college, get my degree, get a 9-to-5, and get a good, healthy, big girl job that comes with benefits and health insurance and life insurance and all the fixins, okay? That was the goal that was set forth to me. It was a main scheme, and I needed to follow it, and if I didn't follow it, I was failing. And I did follow it. Don't get me wrong. I literally followed it. I went to college. I worked my ass off to get my first big girl job. It came with the benefits. It came with the 9-to-5 corporate structure. But then I got laid off. And to me, it almost switched my entire perspective on everything that I was striving for in this world. And I'm not going to sit here and completely write off 9-to-5s because I had one bad experience. I know that there's so many opportunities for me to go back out there and get a 9-to-5 if I truly want it. But this experience did give me the understanding that what I was striving for, one, might not be actually what I identify with and what I actually want for my life. Because at the end of the day, no matter what your parents want you to do, no matter the expectations of who they want you to be, it is not their life. It is your life. They have lived their life. They have lived your lifetimes too, most likely. And two, it's not as secure as it was advertised to me. You know what I'm saying? A couple years ago, when our parents were in our position, getting these strict 9-to-5 jobs that was the definition of security. We have a whole different economy. We have a whole different structure. Life is different. Life is different now because there's so much pressure on all of the people in their 20s that by your 30s you need to have the pinnacle of your success or you're a failure. I don't believe that's true personally, but that's what society pushes on us. It pushes on us that we have a ticking time clock, that we are constantly running out of time, and that we need to figure it out, and that if we don't have it all figured out by 25, then we're automatically going to fail and our life is not going to have any purpose. And that's just not the case. I want to remind people, a lot of people do not reach their peak of success until they are 35, 40. I want you to really drive that in your brain. Some of your favorite celebrities did not reach the pinnacle of their success until they were in their mid-30s. You at 25, if you do not have it all figured out by 25, it is quite literally not the end of the world. You are still so young. You still have so much to figure out. So don't rush this process. Take this time to really sit with yourself, do the reflection, do the inner work, heal your inner child, take the time and be patient with yourself. You do not have to rush into this concept of success. It will come to you, okay? It's better for you to take the time to figure out now and do the deep diving than rushing through and doing something that doesn't even resonate with who you are as an individual. And then you get to that 35 mark and you're like, damn, I'm not happy because I'm not doing something that I love. I listened to this podcast. It is called The Psychology of Your 20s, and she did a podcast episode on your quarter life crisis. She mentioned something that really resonated with me personally. Basically was saying, from the time that we are children, we are taught to be goal-oriented versus value-oriented. And essentially what that means is that from when we are children, we are constantly asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the question of what do you want to be when you grow up is 9 times out of 10 not what will make you happy, it is what will you achieve. Place our value on what we want in this life to be goal-oriented in receiving some sort of prize or some sort of accomplishment versus value-oriented, which really focuses on what makes you happy, what do you resonate with, what makes you feel good inside, what makes you feel alive. A lot of the time, what we're striving for or what we're chasing isn't actually something that's making us happy. You can find purpose that doesn't have to be linked to your career. You can find purpose that does not have to be linked to some sort of accomplishment or some sort of achievement. And I also want to remind you guys, which simply baffles me, we are expected to make these super serious career decisions when we are 18 to 22 years old. That is the time frame of when a lot of people are in college, and that is also one of the most irresponsible time frames of our life. Why the hell are we expecting people at 18 years old to pick a major that will automatically be the rest of their life? The amount of people who don't even use their degrees because the thing that they wanted to do at 18 is not what they want to do at 26. Society is putting this pressure on super young adults who half the time don't even know what the heck is going on to make these crazy life decisions at such a young age. Me at 18 is not me at 26. Hard no. When I first entered in college, I wanted to be a radiology major. Then I changed it to psychology, which is great, and I'm glad I did psychology. I don't regret my degree, but I also think about it. Am I using my psychology degree? Not in the way that I thought I was. Am I becoming a psychiatrist? No. Me at 18 probably wanted to do that. Me at 26 doesn't want to do that, and that's fine. So also be patient with yourself. You taking this time is to redevelop what you want and where you want to go and what is important to you. It's okay to question that, because you're not the same person that you were when you made those decisions. You're not the same person that you were a couple years ago. You are struggling personally trying to figure out what you actually want to do. I would recommend this book. You don't have to necessarily be a creative per se, but it is called The Artist Way. Very interactive book. It has basically like reading segments that kind of go into just trying to redevelop your passion. And then it also has these really interactive prompts that you can do, and a lot of them work on your inner child and developing and figuring out, based on you as a child, what were you so into and how can you reflect that in your current adult life. And I think it's such a great book. It's really interactive, so I absolutely would suggest that. I'm going to put the link to it down below. So let's talk about the next topic, which is love. Okay, I love love, one thing about me. And I feel like in your quarter life crisis, you are now identifying what matters to you in terms of love and what you want for your future. For example, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Is monogamy a part of your story? Are you more of an open relationship type of girl? What are my dating non-negotiables? Am I currently wanting to date to marry? Am I still in a phase where I want to be free? Is a relationship even a priority for me right now? If you do want to have kids, unfortunately, the girls, we have a little bit of a ticking time clock of our max age of when we can have kids. When you get into this like middle range of your 20s where half of your friends are single and outside and the other half of your friends is settling down, getting married and have kids, and if you're in that middle space where you're like, well, what the heck am I doing? It's also kind of like frustrating because it's like, well, I'm teeter-tottering on, do I go and have fun? Am I wasting my time if I have fun? Am I actually doing a great thing by having fun and not settling down too soon? Or should I be settling down right now? Should kids and marriage be on my mind? Only you can determine that, you know what I'm saying? And only you can sit down and have the reflection period to be able to do that. But it is something important to do so you kind of know how to move. I'm personally, a relationship is not a priority for me right now. So I'm not dating to marry, but I am discovering and learning about myself. I am learning what I want in a relationship. I am learning, through dating and having casual experiences, You're also figuring out if there is somebody who you have been talking to for a very long time, if there's somebody from college that you're still kind of with, or your current boyfriend that you've been with for 5 years. If you're in any of these situations, you're now sitting here questioning, is this somebody that I see as my future? Is this somebody that I see myself settling down with? If you don't, then obviously now is the time to break that off. And that also goes with friendships. You know what I'm saying? As you get older and as you develop into an adult, your friendships don't look the same. I wish I still lived with my friends in college, because that was an amazing time. I absolutely loved being in one vicinity and having a community of people and having all of my best friends with me out all the time. But as you get older and everybody starts moving to different places and everybody is in different timelines in their life, some people are more career focused, some people are more relationship focused, some people have moved out of state, some people are still living at home with their parents. No matter where you are in that situation, it's fine, but you do have to re-identify your needs and expectations of your friendships, because it's much easier to communicate and be with your friends when you're all in one little communal hub. But once you kind of separate from that, now you have to determine, well, one, what is my adult friendship with my long distance best friends? How much are we communicating? What do I expect from them? What do they expect from me? Do I feel motivated? Do I feel supported? Or am I just staying in this friendship because of the amount of time that was invested into it? It's important things to think about. Are the people I'm currently surrounding myself with benefiting me? Are they motivating me? Are they making me feel uplifted? Is this an adult friendship, or am I carrying around something toxic? The love and the friendship category can be a little scary, because at the end of the day, it means there might be some people you have to let go. And I want to remind people, it is okay to let people go. Some relationships you just outgrow. That's just life. Like I said before, when I was talking about career, you are not the same person that you were at 18 as you are now at 26, 27. You're just not. And same with the people that you're friends with. And sometimes you can be friends with people for a specific time frame and specific reasons, but if that doesn't correlate with who you are as an individual anymore, sometimes you have to let them go. And there's no hard feelings. It's no, negativity or bashing your friends or anything like that. Sometimes people are just different, and that is okay. Like, it is okay. It's sad and it's scary to let people go and to start new and try to make new friends as an adult, which I can make a whole other video about making friends as an adult, because boy, that shit is hard, okay? But trust me, you're not going to be forever alone if you're not besties with your best friend from kindergarten. Like, I promise you'll be okay. You can love them from a distance, but if they don't resonate with you anymore, then they don't, and that's okay. And I feel like just your quarter life crisis is just all about finding out the authentic version of you. Main goal in this is really to develop a sense of self. It is to help you lead towards developing into your higher self, into your higher purpose, and it's scary and confusing and overwhelming, but at the end of the day, it's really positive. And if you look at it in the perspective of, I am now taking this time to learn so much about myself, so that when I am ready to settle down, when I am ready to step into my dream career, when I am ready to become this adult version of myself, I know for a fact that I'm doing it as it is authentic to me. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not doing it for my parents to impress them. I'm not doing it for my friend that I've had from kindergarten. I'm doing it for me. And letting go of certain things that made you comfortable, people that made you comfortable, concepts that made you comfortable, ideas of where you thought you would be, letting those go is so freaking scary, because now you're kind of left with a blank slate to really develop something new. What we have to let go makes room for what really is meant for us, what we really deserve, what we're really meant to become. You don't want to dedicate your whole life to doing something that does not fulfill you. Because then when you get to that midlife area, when you get to that 50, 60, and you start having your midlife crisis, you're going to have so many regrets because you did not do what you wanted to do. You stayed with the person that wasn't the best for you. You kept friendships that weren't beneficial for you. You pursued a career route that wasn't something that you were passionate about. And who's going to have to sit with that? You are. Nobody else that you did it for is going to have to sit with that but you. And all of the feelings of like this impending doom, I promise you the impending doom is not real. Okay, a lot of the things seem way more dramatic and drastic when we look at them from a closed perspective, rather than when we dive deep and expand our mind and expand our understanding of who we are as individuals. So stop stressing, stop rushing, stop feeling like this is the end of the world. You know, I actually love this saying, the concept of your 20s. I'm 26 right now. I am only 6 years old. In the adult world. 6 years old in the adult world. That is a baby. Imagine a little 6-year-old. That is a baby. They don't know what the hell's going on. Stop thinking you need to have it figured out. You don't. You don't. You literally don't. Like, you're stressing yourself out trying to make it seem like you need to have every answer answered right now. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow, relax, take a deep breath. Go after what makes you happy, do what makes you happy. Stop closing doors for yourself before they even open. Don't be afraid to make room for what really resonates with you. If that means having to let go of certain people and certain habits and something, as hard as it's going to be, let it go. Let it go. Make room for your higher self. Make room for the things that are actually going to benefit you to come into your life. Don't hold on to things out of being comfortable, because being comfortable is being stagnant at the end of the day. And just don't stress. Just don't stress. I just want anybody who is watching this who is going through their quarter life crisis, stop stressing out. It'll be okay. You're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your perspective. It's all about the inner work that you do. If you sit here and ignore the problems, they're not going to go away. Just take the time. I'm actually going to compile a bunch of resources that I personally use that kind of help me navigate my 20s. I love you guys. I hope this helped anybody who is watching. I love you guys to death. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.